Our next guest, this is a little bit like being joined by Michelangelo for a painting lesson right now. We have the Grillmaster from Weber, Dustin Green. Weber being our tailgate sponsor all season long. This is grilling royalty right here. Yeah. Dustin, thanks for being here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us what we're going to be doing ahead of time.
So we're going to do a pulled pork nacho. We got some toppings, and we're just going to make it up nice, layer it up. We're going to put it on our Traveler grill. And
why is grilling synonymous with tailgating, you think? Long history there.
There is a long history. And, you know, Weber's a Chicago-based company. Our headquarters is in Palatine. But our founder is really where it started. George Stephen, avid Bears fan. He'd, bring his family down to the games. They started tailgating way back in the day. And just from there, it's just, it's in our DNA. It's part of what we do.
I totally agree. This looks incredible. This just came out of the cooker. What went into this right here?
About 12 hours of love. You
Wow.
season it up, you get it in there, you let it do its thing. You spray it with a little bit of apple juice, but ultimately, just let the flavors develop.
How many degrees for those 12 hours was it? I mean,
cooked it at 250 degrees, low and slow, brought it up to about 200.
This is work that I think would be really difficult. I'm so glad you're here, Dustin. Why don't you pull apart that pork, and then you're going to put me to work.
Look how soft that is coming off.
Oh
my gosh, I cannot wait to try
this.
this.
Melt in your mouth.
Well, and this is one of those dishes that's great for tailgating. When we think about the tips that we like to bring to people, it's about making your menu. It's about getting foods that are nice, they're easy, you can do them ahead, and thinking about what goes into it. We have a tailgate kit that we put together, a toolbox with our plastic wrap and all that different kind of stuff. Our condiment caddy too. So, it's about making it easy, making it simple, thinking about it. But this is one of those dishes that I don't have to think about it. I've made it ahead of time. It's going to be awesome. And I cooked it off of our Searwood pellet grill, which, like I said, that low and slow, the flavors, we got this beautiful bark, and all that kind of stuff that goes with it.
Okay, so we pulled this apart. Now, do you want me to scoop it on there?
Oh, please.
Okay,
Here
let's
we go.
do that.
Your big moment. Look at how easily that comes apart.
Yeah.
Get it on there.
And then toppings-wise, Anthony, what kind of things do you like?
Okay, so Dustin, run us through the toppings that you've selected here and why these work.
And a lot of things go with nachos. We just try to keep it simple. We talk about tomatoes, black beans, jalapenos, lots of cheese. You always need cheese, and onions, and you top it with a little bit of cilantro.
Okay.
So, and what we're going to do, once we get all of this good stuff on there, we're going to take it back to the grill. You mind if I jump in and help you?
No, go ahead. Please do. I'm trying to pull apart the pork still. I'm going to put it just right in my mouth. No, I'm joking.
I kind of want to do that too.
Oh, the smell out here is incredible.
I'm going to just improvise here.
Yeah.
Hey, Dustin.
I asked Anthony to see how many hot peppers he could fit in his mouth, but I think he said another day for that.
Dustin, what would you say the number one mistake that we amateurs make when it comes to grilling out for a tailgate?
It's a great question, and it's really about overcomplicating things. Once you have yourself set and you're prepared and you have your grills, we have our beautiful Traveler grill back here. That's it folds down like a rolling suitcase. It fits in the back of your truck, but it's really about thinking about those items that you don't have to, overcomplicate it and make and difficult.
You said, for example, you sprayed this with apple cider. Was there anything else going?
No.
Really?
No, and it's about simple though. Like we did
that
this last night.
Keep it simple, stupid, right?
It really is. It really is.
Okay, so I think we've almost completely loaded, right?
I think that people are going to be pretty happy with this.
Okay, so now what do we do, Dustin?
So once we have this, we have the cheese, we have it all on there. We're literally going to take it over to our Traveler grill. Like I said, it's that beautiful collapsible. It's got a nice temperature on it.
Okay.
We're going to put it in here.
Ooh.
I love that you can just
gorgeous.
set the cookie sheet right on top
gorgeous.
of the grill there.
Oh, you know what? We just, it's a low temperature. We're going to put it in there. We have our premium grill gloves to help us take it off when it's going to have that hot heat to it. And just let it bake. Let it do its thing.
Okay, and then wait, you've got another grill. We don't like secrets around here. What do you have grilling over here?
Well, over here we got our beautiful chicken wings that we put on here. So we put these on a little bit ago. And literally, once again, it's a low heat. We're just going to give them a nice little flip on them. You see that beautiful color that we have. We want to develop it and flavor, and So.
Okay,
Is there anything
what
in
is
that third one?
Yeah, what is going on here?
So this is a sweet and spicy sauce that's going to go on these wings. All of these recipes are on Weber.com, and this is one of the ones that we're showcasing. We have our nachos as well. You know, we do it with the pulled pork, but you know, you can do it with steak, you can do it with chicken, you can do it with whatever you want.
And I'm told to open grill number 3.
Is it over here behind you?
Oh, this one.
Oh,
there you go.
You brought enough for the whole class.
Well, you know what?
Thank you, Dustin.
When you have a lot of friends, you got to bring a lot of food.
And I think friends mean that maybe you could come over to my house whenever I give you a buzz. Is that what friends do, Dustin?
Friends take care of friends.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jake Hamilton is a thief. We are supposed to toss it over him so he can tease his next interview. He just came over to your table, Dustin. Jake, how is it? Okay, you jumped the gun on the taste test, sir.
Well, he's smart. That's
Dustin Green, head grill master with Weber, our
Thank you
tailgate
so
sponsor.
much.
Thank you so much.
And we've had some wonderful smells coming, emitting from this grill all morning long. It is also Hispanic Heritage Month, and to celebrate, we're here with Chef Jonathan Zaragosa. He's the executive chef at his family James Beard-nominated restaurant, Birria Zaragoza, on the southwest side of the city.
Did he? Okay.
There we go. I was practicing in the break.
You say it for us.
Birria Zaragoza.
Okay. Brian and I are not very good at rolling our R's. We've been practicing.
I'm still learning.
Okay. Well, you are a rising star chef, and we are so grateful to have you here to celebrate this wonderful month with so much flavor. What did you bring in for us first, and then how can we elevate our tailgate with, of course, our tailgating partner here at Fox 32, Weber Grill?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. We have a couple of things here. So we have some Oaxacan tamales over here. We use some of our roasted goat from the restaurant in there, some salsa and some roasted poblanos, guacamole, salsa, and chips. Obviously, tailgating, you got to be fun.
Gotta have the chips,
and
yeah.
honestly, like the biggest part about tailgating is like watching the game. So it's nice to just set stuff out and have people make their own. You know what I mean? Because that's the whole point of it, right?
And then you just set it and forget it, right? As a host, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, we're not trying to stress out about it. Some wings that we did in a little bit of mole. And then what we're making for you guys today on the Weber Grill 26-inch Master Touch, actually, is we're going to make some ribeye tacos.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
so
do it.
walk us through how we make these.
So there's really no wrong way to do it. What I've done is taken some ribeye and marinated it in some soy sauce, some serrano chili and garlic.
Now, how long are you going to marinate? Are we talking overnight, maybe a couple hours before you pull out the grill?
Until you lose patience. You know what I mean?
Well, that might be 5
Maybe
minutes.
an hour.
Okay.
So right now I'm gonna flip these over right now.
And what do you have there that you've set them on? This is the first time I've seen this.
Yes, incredible. So this is it's a sear grate on this new grill that we have here, and it's interchangeable. They have different grates that you can use, so you can bake on it. This one we're using it because you can see it's nice and sturdy, so we're gonna get a nicer sear mark on it. But so we're gonna flip these one time, but we can get going on making some tacos for you guys.
What seasonings did you use on that before we move on?
Yeah, so it's roasted garlic, roasted serrano chili, soy sauce, and lime juice.
Okay.
Puree.
All right.
The lime juice, that's the key.
You need a little flavor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do, for sure.
All right, so let's make some tacos.
Let's
How do you
do
feel
it.
about that?
I'm feeling good about
I
it.
feel great about it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move some of this stuff here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put.
Wait, what did you put this on? That's interesting.
This is a banana leaf, and we bake the tamales in there. And what we do is we finish them on the grill to get them a little crispy on the sides, and then heat them up. That's it.
How long do those take on the grill?
So we steam them first for about an hour,
Okay.
and then they're set, and then to warm them up, grill them.
That's great.
And they don't get, you have protection on there because it's like wrapped in
won't
Now,
burn
can
it.
you buy these at the local supermarket?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
Maybe I just know a guy.
Yeah,
It is Chicago
I don't know
after
what
all,
I'm saying.
right?
Okay, exactly. Okay, so we've got the tortillas laid out.
Yeah. We have our wonderful ribeye here. And it's thin cut. It's marinated nicely. You don't have to overcomplicate your life, right? Again, it's about enjoying the game. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna make these northern Mexican style. We like bean.
Oh.
Is there a southern Mexican style?
So in the north we usually use pinto beans, but today we have black beans.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put this on top, and it's like a meal in a taco. How are these looking?
Getting
Looking so
looking
good.
like a
And
lot of protein.
I like this because you're giving me ideas of things I can put out on the bar there.
I'm telling you, we have some curtido or pickled cabbage right here to make it healthy, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Got
it's
some
super
green on your
healthy.
plate, right?
You got to. Yeah. A lot of protein on this one too, right?
It looks so good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's perfect, just
Now we
perfect.
have the steak. Now, because it's thin cut, how long are you leaving that on the grill?
you know, I always say until it's done, until you like it. I like a little crisp. I can hear the one behind us. I know it's ready to come off. Yeah. So use your instincts and make sure you like it. That's the biggest thing about cooking, right? I would say about a minute aside. You know,
A minute aside. That's very speedy.
Very quick.
Super quick, you know?
So now you've mixed some purple onions and some white onions?
Yeah. And red onion.
Red onion, I should say. You can tell I cook a lot.
Same thing. So this is it. That's our taco.
So if people want to learn more about these tacos, where can they go?
They can go to Weber.com. I think we have them on the website as well. They're on the handmade tortillas at Birreria Zaragosa. That's all we serve there. So these are for you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Best friends. I can always
Been
hear.
smelling it all day. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
thanks for having me.
This Sunday, our Bears will be getting it started at noon.
That's right. So you may want to pregame with a little breakfast. We've got just the thing for you here on Good Day Chicago. Our official tailgate sponsor, Weber, is here to make that happen, along with their Grillmaster, Maddie Rids. Maddie, what you have delivered today is a total touchdown. You have this breakfast bar that people can duplicate at home. Tell us what you brought in first.
Thanks so much for having me, by the way. So we have so much on the menu. We have some breakfast hash, blueberry pancakes, of course, bacon, and what's a tailgate without a Bloody Mary?
Well, you're talking my language.
What would you say is maybe the biggest difference between maybe making an afternoon barbecue, your burgers and your hot dogs? We're doing a full breakfast spread. Where did that idea come from?
Well, breakfast is my favorite time of the day, no matter what time of the day it is, honestly, and it's so quick and easy, especially with our new slate griddle.
Yeah, let's show people that, because you've got some things cooking back here. So let's walk over this way. You step on my side, Maddie, and then our photographer is going to come around this way. Tell us how you finish off the bacon and how this apparatus works.
Yeah, so I got some maple syrup over here that I'm just going to brush with the bacon. I want to make sure that my griddle's on low, so I'm not going to be burning my bacon. I have my press. I'll put it down, and when it's time, I'll sprinkle some brown sugar on.
And then as far as the pancakes go, any special trick to that? Because oftentimes when I make them at home, I cause the smoke alarm to go off.
You definitely want to make sure you have a nice coat of oil on your griddle, but other than that, you shouldn't have to be sticking at all.
Okay, now tell me more about this grill itself. Is this an add-on to the grill that I purchase?
So you can do a griddle insert on your regular Genesis, Spirit grills, but this right here is our Slate lineup. So it's our griddle, and it is rust resistant and ready to use right outside the box.
Looks so good. I got to ask you about those pancakes that you got whipping up over there. What kind of timetable are we talking about? How long is it going to take you to kind of whip those together?
Oh, very quick. Honestly, like I said, breakfast is so easy, and that's my favorite part of it. Pancakes are going to take about 5 minutes.
Okay, what else, if you're doing something other than breakfast on this surface, give me some ideas of what else you would make on here.
Oh, if we're not doing the breakfast tailgate or all breakfast?
If we're not doing breakfast, because I want to give people options, so they don't just have to stick to breakfast if they get this kind of surface, right?
Oh, you can definitely do smash burgers. You can whip up some tacos. Really, anything that you can do on your grill, you can do on your griddle.
I love that. Okay, let's step back over here, Maddie, and tell us a little bit about how you've got this all set up.
Yeah, so we got our breakfast hash, like I said, our blueberry pancakes, and our bacon. I'm actually going to take off some bacon right now for us to try.
Okay, while she does that, Brian, we wouldn't be doing the show justice, because I love a good Bloody Mary. Do you like yours spicy, or do you like it mild?
A little spice.
That is good.
This is very good,
Yeah, it's good for a warm day like today, you know?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so Maddie's going to come on back. And I cannot wait to try this food. It looks spectacular.
I love that she's like kind of basting the bacon with more maple.
Yeah, okay, let's go back here to the grill and see what she's up to. Oh, Brian, look at this.
Yes, it's almost like Salt Bae, but it's brown sugar.
Exactly.
Okay, so how long do we, before we pick these puppies up?
After 12 short minutes, I'm honestly about to pick them up right now.
Okay, and look at this too. Can we get a shot of this? How cute is that? They come prepared at Weber, don't they? I mean, even for your seasonings, you can get a tiny little football there.
Perfect. Let me take off these, and we are ready to dive in.
Your bacon. Are you like extra crispy?
I'm an extra crispy gal.
Me too, because I feel like sometimes when it's soggy, I'm like, just put it back. It's not worth the calories.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to bring that back over here. And as we come back this way, are you a monster truck fan?
I am.
Do you have a favorite monster truck?
No, I mean, not that big of a fan, but I definitely will watch it and go to the shows. So.
Okay. Oh, Wait a minute.
Hey.
Before we get to that, I recognize those pancakes.
We have quite a surprise for you two. Ben from Dan Cakes.
Ben, no!
Oh, look at this.
Get out!
Look at this.
It looks too good to eat, does it not, Brian?
We got to hang these up on our desk. We can't eat these, right?
Wait a minute. How long do these last, Ben? As
Okay.
long. Okay, all right. This is so special. Thank you both so
Oh, that
much,
was really
Ben and
sweet.
Maddie. We
Appreciate you guys so
appreciate
much.
Weber as well.
We're joined by our tailgate sponsor this morning. Weber's here with both the fuel and the grills. And now we're also joined by Chef Max Robbins from the Oakville Grill and Cellar located in the West Loop.
Yeah, that's right, Chef. Okay, run us through, first of all, what we got here. This looks unbelievable, Max.
Yeah, thanks for having us. First of all, super excited to be cooking on these awesome Weber grills today. We've got food here from the Oakville, and just food that's really appropriate for tailgating. In Chicago, we've got big appetites, ready to eat, lots of good food. So we've got some different things that you can do. And for me, I think one of the keys is when you're grilling, when you're out there, might have a couple brewskis, watch the game, have a good time. Just want to be prepared. Yeah. So the more you can kind of get set and the more you can do, make sure your charcoal is set and ready to go. Make sure that
you can hear that
everything
sizzle.
is kind of ready to go. So I actually a tip for me is I like to par cook chicken wings before I get out there.
What does that mean?
So I like to kind of marinate them, do whatever I can, and then lightly bake them because I don't want to bring raw chicken with me out. And also it's going to be easier to grill. It's going to be easier to manage. So you're not out there for 20 minutes at a time. You're out there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you can kind of cook. You can take what's great about this 26-inch Touchmaster Weber grill is it's so big and there's different interchangeable grates. You can move the coals to one side and you've got hot direct heat and then indirect. So you can take a par cooked chicken wing, put it away from the coals, just get smoke, get the skin really crispy, really impress all your friends.
At what temperature do you par cook these wings?
So it really depends. I like to bake them in the oven about 400 degrees for maybe, 10, 15 minutes, just so they're almost cooked. And that way you can chill them down, and then the next day you can bring them out, and it's a lot easier. Same with our steaks.
Got it.
When I get out there, if I'm having friends over, I'll put the steaks on, I'll sear them, and then I'll pull them off, and I'll let them rest for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then put them back on the grill. Only takes about 8 minutes, 10 minutes to have a perfect medium rare, and then you've got these perfect steaks here.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we could get some stuff here on the grill.
Yeah.
Sure.
So here I've got these chicken wings that are par cooked. I've got these beautiful dry aged burgers, and I love dry aged burgers for grilling because when you put a lot of smoke, sometimes you don't taste as much flavor of the meat, but with the dry aged meat, it really, really stands up to the char and the smoke.
I'm a novice, so what is dry aged meat as we put this on the grill?
So dry aged means that the burgers have been sitting out and there's moisture. Moisture is the enemy of flavor, right? When you're cooking, you're removing moisture. So the dry age removes moisture and it adds a little bit of funk to the flavor. So if you like the kind of funky flavor of lamb or you really like the flavor of beef, it's only gonna kind of enhance what you're doing there.
How does that change maybe how long you leave the burgers on the grill? Any impact there?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, there's less moisture. When you're cooking, basically you're removing moisture. So there's less moisture means less time to cook before it gets overcooked. So I'll put these steaks on and then we can kind of cut into the other ones and see what we have going on.
Yeah.
I want to see the final product as Max loads up the 26-inch Weber grill. All right, take us into these right here. Brian and I, again, we've been kind of jonesing for this segment for a while.
Beautiful steaks here. And we'll just kind of cut into them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful steaks here.
We've got some audience members who are salivating right along with us, Brian.
And what do you have on the side as a finisher there?
So this is just like a compound butter, and you can kind of have fun, do whatever you like. This has like different kind of spices. It's got some onions, it's got some garlic, it's got herbs. Really, really beautiful and kind of add flavor. I don't like to put too much flavor on the marinade because then you can't taste the quality of the product. I like to put a butter on the top so you can enjoy the flavor of the beef and then add a little bit more.
So these guys go on right after they come off the grill.
Yeah, they come on and kind of melt on. I like to take these tomatoes sometimes too. You can use those as a garnish. And then over here we've got our burgers.
Ooh.
These are the dry aged burgers with blue cheese, pickles, and onions. And here's our wings. It's kind of got a Korean glaze, but of course you could put anything you want on it.
All right, tell us about these wine pairings real quick, too.
Yeah, so I mean, just big, bold reds. You know, we're a kind of Napa Valley-inspired restaurant. Cool air, bare weather is red wine weather. So, you know, be a little classy to your tailgate.
I love it. Classing it up. Max, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Again, this segment sponsored by our tailgating partners for all of Orange Friday. Weber Grills has been bringing it.
Weber, they are official tailgate sponsor. We are so lucky to have them. We have Weber culinary expert Tim Hagedorn to show us how to pair local beers with some delicious chili.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, it's always, you need great food, great beer when you're tailgating, right? And that's where we come in with the great food. But we have Midwest Coast Brewing here with some fantastic beers.
And tell us what beers you brought in.
Okay, so we have 3 different styles of chili. This is your classic kind of, you know, red tomato chili. It's got big, bold flavors. So we're pairing it with this oatmeal stout called Firewatch. Then over here we have this white chicken chili. It's kind of rich and creamy, so we're doing something a little punchy. This is a vaguely stylish. This is a West Coast IPA. And then lastly, we have this chili verde. It's got lots of spice, and so we're pairing it with just this classic Pilsner here. It's gonna be really good.
That sounds good. Now, gotta ask you a controversial question.
Okay.
Do you put beans in your chili?
Listen, I am not from Texas. I'm from the South, so pinto beans go in everything that I cook. I mean, we have a pot of beans on the stove every week. So yes, beans are in this chili, but there's also not just beans. We're actually cooking with beer as well. So we've got some food over here on the grill if you want to check it out.
Yeah,
it
let's
is
go do that.
fantastic.
Okay.
So
See
over
what you got here.
here's what I did. So I took this this steak. We've got chuck roast here, and I seared it off on the grill. And then we've got this pot over here. It's got tomatoes, it's got beans, and we're gonna pour in the secret ingredient. This is the Firewatch oatmeal stout. That's gonna go in there. It's gonna simmer down and cook and be rich and delicious.
Now, how much are we pouring in here?
11 ounces. This is a 12-ounce
Okay.
beer, so you need one extra.
Oh, yeah,
you
just
know.
to make sure it's not poisonous. Taste
It's
it.
good. It's good,
Yeah,
yeah.
No one's going to get sick.
Yeah, 11 ounces of beer.
What is
exactly.
the first step to creating a chili spread for your tailgate?
Well, you know, when we talk about tailgating, we always
Yeah.
say that it's best to just plan ahead, do everything ahead. And chili's one of those things that's it's actually better the next day anyway, right?
Sure,
So
right.
making the chili ahead of time, and then you're prepping all of your toppings here. And so the next day you come, you have your travel grill, put it on there, warm it up, and you're ready to go.
Now, you mentioned throwing that chili right here on the
sear
grill here.
wood, yes.
How long is it going on there?
So that's going to be on there and getting really, it's going to simmer and braise for a couple hours.
Couple hours,
Because we
okay.
got a tough chuck roast in there that's got lots of flavor, but you got to cook it out, right? And you got to let it get tender and soft, and that's how you get this beautiful
It looks
texture here,
so good.
right?
Can't wait to dig
Doesn't
in.
that look so good?
What other
does.
types of meat do you recommend putting in the chili?
Well, you know, if you've got this tomato base, this classic American, this is what I think of when you think of chili, you got to go beef, right? I've ground beef, you've got steak here. I've seen people put skirt steak in a chili as well.
Okay.
But you got to go beef. That's why we have these other kinds of chili here,
Yeah,
like
let's
the
talk
white
about
chicken
those.
chili that's got chicken in it, obviously. You know?
Obviously.
It's in the name. And then this chili verde has got this beautiful pork in there. It's pork shoulder that's braised, and it's so good.
We also
It's
have
so
some
good.
extra toppings that kind of go with the chili. Walk us through
You know,
what else
here's-
goes on this.
Here's the thing. I think that chili, the toppings of a chili are all about adding contrast and adding texture, you know? So with the chili here, you've got the chew of the beef and you've got that like pinto bean squish, you know? It's all kind of like two textures. It's not a lot. So this is all about adding creaminess. So you've got your sour cream here that you can put on top of like a chili there. You've got acid that's gonna like bring brightness to your chili. And then this is actually one of my favorite things to do. I love cabbage in chili.
We need our
because
vegetables.
You need your vegetables, but also, you know, again, you put chips in there and it just kind of gets mushy again, and you're not adding that crunch factor. The cabbage really stays crunchy, so the whole time you've got a little play.
Back
you
to
know?
the beer and chili. Is there a
Yes.
beer that you wouldn't use in chili? Or really, can you use them all?
I think the rule is use the beer that you like to drink.
Okay.
And then it's never going to be wrong. But when it comes to pairing, I like to think about what the food is going to do to my beer. So this chili right here, big, bold flavors, right? So I'm not going to put a mild, light beer with that because it's just going to taste like water. I want to pair that with a big, bold beer. And that's why we have this Firewatch here. It's from Midwest Coast Brewing Company. They're a fantastic brewery. They have a wonderful tap room as well that's dog friendly. So if you're dog friendly, you know, you got to go.
What about cats? Are the cats allowed? I'm a cat person, Tim.
So I'm a
She's
cat person
lady.
as well. So
Okay.
no shame. But Rosie the cat doesn't like to get out much.
Yeah,
you know,
I get it.
so
I'm just
give her-
joking.
I
I'm
bring the
joking.
Midwest coast to her.
I
That's
see.
the trick.
Okay.
So that's a big, bold beer that's going to be great with this chili. Now, the white chicken chili, it's got lots of richness and creaminess to it, so it needs something that's going to cut through that richness, you know? So we have something here. This is the West Coast IPA. It's called Bagley Stylish. And that's actually, I think that was on my dating profile, how I found my wife was I'm vaguely stylish. But it's great. You know, IPAs, they're really they're punchy.
Yes,
so you
they
want
hit you.
something, but if you've got this rich, creamy food, you know, you need to punch through all that richness and fat, right? With something that's like this IPA. Then lastly, this is the pork chili verde, right? Really spicy, really hot. You know, it's got all those chilies in there. So if you pair that with a beer that's got a lot of alcohol content to it, it's gonna get the heat from the chilies, and the heat from that alcohol is gonna be too much. So this is just a drinkable, beautiful Pilsner, Volkslager, the People's Pilsner. It's really good, low ABV, you can drink.
So you've given us
Responsibly.
so much information.
It's a lot, I know.
Where do we go if we want to?
All right,
catch
go to
back up on this?
Weber.com/tailgating.
The Bears, they are across the pond, and today our tailgating partners at Weber Grill. Now, they're an international company, and his colleague, Dustin Green, he's our local master griller, but his colleague, Dan Cooper, is engaging in a little bit of cross-the-pond rivalry when it comes to cooking up sausages. Here's a look at his challenge.
Today we've chosen a recipe which is one of our favourites, Cumberland sausage, a big spiral sausage cooked in a lovely Weber kettle, obviously. 50-50, bit of wood smoke in there, and we're going to serve that on a white bun with sticky onions and some good old HP Houses of Parliament sauce. And there we have it, the ultimate sausage sarnie. So the challenge and the tongs are over to you.
All right, so Dan just sent the tongs over to us here on this side of the pond. There they are. There they are. Okay, so this thing right here, run us through exactly what that is. He hit on it very briefly.
So it's a traditional sausage sarnie, which is a Cumberland coil sausage. It's got a little bit of a mayonnaise base. It's got some onions on top of it, a little bit of HP sauce. Very traditional, and then the Babs bread. So straight up a British-style sausage sandwich.
This is wild because we're not used to this configuration. That is a lot of sausage. We go vertical back here.
We do, and you know what? They make some great sausages over the pond. Over here in Chicago, we know with all of our different, the backgrounds of people, we have our Polish sausage, our Italian sausage. We can throw down with the best of them.
I agree. I completely agree. And by the way, HP...
House of Parliament.
House of Parliament. What exactly is this?
So it's kind of like a brown sauce. It's a little bit...
Is it like barbecue sauce?
Kind of like barbecue sauce, kind of a little bit traditional what you'd see overseas.
Okay, what'd you bring in for us to sample here? I understand there's more than meets the eye right here, right?
Oh, totally more than meets the eye. So what this is from Frankie's Bangers over in Chesterton, Indiana. And this takes literally an Italian sausage, an Italian beef, puts a little bit of cheese with some jardinere, and it puts it in a sausage link.
So that's all inside the casing there?
All inside the casing,
okay.
Straight up.
Okay, bangers. All right, let's talk about bangers. All right, I've always been curious about them. What's the difference between these and what we do here on the mainland?
So these are traditional. We got these from our friends at Jolly Posh Foods. Okay. And what a traditional banger is the meat's a little bit coarser, it's a little bit more fine, the sausages are a little bit smaller, and then of course the seasonings are a little bit different based on regionality.
Okay, all right, let's walk over to the grill here, Dustin. What have you, it smells amazing.
Yeah.
The grill's at 415.
Yep.
What do we got here?
So we got a little bit of both sausages. I have the Chi-Town combos going. We have a little bit of our bangers over here. You talked about the temperature, and when we're looking to grill these, what we're looking to do is we want to get them up to that safe temperature, but we don't want them to bang. They're called bangers for a reason, and that's because the casings pop on them, you lose your juices, and they dry out. And that's what we're not looking to do. We just want to keep that temperature at the right temp. We want to flip them once and pull them off when they're done.
Okay, so the folks that do the slats in them before they go on the grill, that's a no-no? You want to keep the juices in the brats?
It's the best, and putting the slats in them, people can do what they want. We don't tell people right way or wrong way. What I try to do is we want to teach people a way to get the best flavor out of their food.
Okay. Dustin Green, head grill master at our tailgating partner, Weber. We cannot wait to sample this product. Dustin, you always bring it. and we appreciate it, sir. This is how we do it here.
That's how we do it.
I don't know if I could handle the coiled up version. That's just like that is a diesel version of a sausage sandwich.
You know what? You got to try things.
Okay,
That's what it's about.
We're gonna do it. So the Bears are off this week. It's their bye week. We are not taking a break. We're back here on the plaza. We are grilling up a storm with our Grill Master of the Week, Weber Grills, Jason Pruitt, everybody, who's given us some. I mean, this is blowing my mind. Your apple focus on this Orange Friday. Take us through what you have prepared, because this is not just your everyday sauerkraut.
No, this is not your everyday sauerkraut. This sauerkraut actually has apples that have been cooked into it. As well, we have a lovely apple cider brine pork chop. So I'm really big on seasonal menus.
Yeah.
So use those ingredients that are in season. And here it is all about the apple right here to really express. It's fall, y'all. So let's get into
It's
it.
fall, y'all. That's right. Yeah, he's a Chicago new transplant by way of Georgia.
Yeah.
FYI. Let's talk about the brine though, really quickly, and explain to me. I'm a novice. You know, just kind of how important a brine is.
So a brine is really important because I like to ask people, I'm like, who out there has dried out their pork chop?
Oh gosh.
And
all
I
of
know,
us.
yeah, I
All
was
of
going
us,
to say that's
yeah.
a thing to do. And what happens is people get fearful of, do I cook it to the right temperature? I want to cook it to doneness. I don't want any pink in there, but I don't want a dry pork chop.
Right.
So brining is the way to go. And when we brine, we can honestly incorporate like all these wonderful flavors of the apple that we have in here, but also we're going to use salt in that brine as well, because the salt's going to help that food retain moisture.
Oh yeah, and not dry out.
Yeah.
Okay, so take us through the rest of your spread here. I see apples here, and I see apples on these skewers as well.
So before I get to these, I'm going to go over this right here,
Okay.
because when we talk about tailgate food, it's got to be handheld and easy to move around with.
Right.
This right here hits those points because we got a pulled chicken slider here that we have complemented with a lovely apple cider and
apple cider and
cabbage. So we
cabbage.
got
Okay,
a
yeah,
cabbage
it's cabbage.
slaw
Here's
here.
cabbage.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
sorry.
got a cabbage
Sorry, I
slaw.
failed my
Yeah,
quiz.
And then we're going to, once again, another handheld that's easy, and we're expressing like how much we love apples here with these Golden Delicious that we have paired up with some pork and
And
a
it's
lovely
glazed with something, right?
So this right here is glazed with a apple barbecue sauce. So there's, when you look at apples, some are better to bake with, some are better, they got that crispy crunch with like Granny Smith. Granny Smith is nice because when you cook that or you put it on the grill, especially like here when we used our cedarwood pellet here to give that smoke flavor and that smoke infusion, but also it helps tone down on that acidic
on that
bite.
tart, because you can't like bite into a Granny Smith. That would like blow out.
It puckers up your cheeks
exactly.
there.
So these here, Golden Delicious, is that what these are here?
Yeah, so these right here are actually Rome's. So we got these from Nickel Farms here, just downstate. These right here are really, really like crisp raw, but then when you cook them, they kind of balance out. It drops the acidity level in there, and they are really, really sweet pronounced.
Okay,
So,
for folks who want to give this a go, because I've never put apples on the grill before, give us the cliff notes on how we do it properly here in terms of temperature and time on the grill.
yeah, so when you're cooking your apples, one of the things you want to do is make sure you got your grill preheated and hot. So when we preheat our grill, we like to get it, for apples, I like to get it right at 400 degrees. And then 400 degrees, I'm literally going to give them a nice little olive oil, or either you can use butter if you'd like, but you can kind of brush them and then get them right on the grill. Those natural sugars are going to come out anyway. That natural sweetness in the apple is going to come out.
And how
the grill
long?
brings it to
These are
life.
pretty standard slices. You can see the size, right? How long on each side?
So these right here, we're taking about 4 to 5 minutes a side.
Okay.
And then we're pulling them off. And we actually incorporated these into our apple crisp here.
Oh my
so
gosh, everyone's
we grilled
excited
them,
about the apple
infused
crisp.
the smoke, got those sugars to wake up, and then we put it back in the crisp, put it back on the grill, and let those flavors really
in
marry.
the cast iron skillet. Oh my gosh, we got dessert and an amazing spread. Jake, I know you are going to join me in our cheat day, right? With these sliders.
I
the
love
apple
that you
crisp.
call that a cheat day, and I call it like a Tuesday. Like that works perfectly fine. I'm coming over for one of those beers later.
Oh my, this brisket looks unbelievable. This is Tim Cottini. He is our master griller from Bub City, pairing up with our tailgate partners, Weber Grill, on this Orange Friday. Tim, what is your secret, sir?
Slow and low. It's the name of the
Okay.
game. You develop the flavors, you season the meat, you let it rest for a little while, let it really develop a little bit, and then you get it going on the grill with some nice chips. Constantly basting it, rubbing it, mopping it, spraying it. Like we were doing the ribs earlier, you get that going, nice indirect heat. Get the wood chips going every 30 minutes. You open it up, you give it a little spritz with the apple cider, give it a nice brushing with the glaze after about an hour, hour and a half, and then just keep building those layers of the glaze so you get that nice lacquered finish on the outside of it.
Labor intensive, but
It
worth
is,
it. But
right.
worth it.
A lot of time. What about the brisket here? What do you do for that?
So for our brisket here at Pub City, what we do is we take and we'll actually put a salt and pepper rub on the brisket. We'll let it rest for a little while, a couple hours, to really let the salt kind of penetrate into the meat. And then we'll get it going, smoking in the smoker, fat side up, so it kind of renders down and bastes the meat as it goes. And then we'll take it after about 14 to 18 hours, depending on the size of it.
That is labor intensive. You
And
said
we never
it.
do it by temp. It's always by feel. That's the tough thing with barbecue is you want to cook it till you get like that nice tenderness. You just kind of feel it. And then we'll take it and take it out, let it kind of rest down to about 140 degrees. We'll put like kind of like grandma used to do, fold them over to foil, set it in there, fold it, crimp it on the edges.
My grandmother never did that. Did yours do that?
Well, grandma didn't want to have to wash the pan at the end of the day, You save yourself a little stuff. But you do that, and then it lets the crust stay over the top. You get that nice bark going on. You don't want to, leave it wrapped up and let it steam. You want to let it that nice crispness you get to the brisket.
Unbelievable.
You really
And the
want to
wings,
accentuate it.
too. Can we talk about those? How are we doing
So
those?
we have our Pub City wings, and for our smoked wings, what we do in-house is we get the wings in, and then we'll put them in a wet brine. We'll let it sit in the wet brine for 24 hours. We take it out, and then we'll lay them out on a rack for 24 hours and let it develop that kind of tackiness. And then we'll put our signature meat rub on there, and then we'll smoke them for about an hour and a half. We get that smoker puffing real hard, so you get that nice heavy smoke on it.
I put mine in the air fryer. Do you ever do that, Tim? Or,
Well, I will do that when I get them home, and maybe if I'm eating them the next day.
Yeah.
Air fryer is a great way to re-crisping them up, whether you're getting our crispy wings, our award-winning crispy wings, or our signature smoked wings.
Take us through this right here.
So this is our ribs. We get that nice indirect heat going. When we're doing it in the smoker, it's a lot easier, but when you're doing it at home on a Weber grill, you get that indirect heat, the coals on the side, and you kind of set your ribs up in the middle. You get your seasoning on it, let it rest for a while, get it going in the smoker with the chips, a nice heavy puff, and then every 30 minutes I'm opening it up, spritzing it with a little apple cider mix we do, and then we'll
is in that
glaze
mix?
it.
Because I noticed you spraying that down.
So
It's
we
apple
do
cider, and what
apple
else?
cider, a little bit of Dijon mustard, a little bit of oil, and then a little bit of apple cider vinegar mixed in there.
And I understand also people don't want to make this on their own because who's got 24 hours to wait by the store? They can pick stuff up
Bub
from you
City's
guys,
got your
right?
back.
Okay.
If you go to bub-city.com. You can open up our Rosemont or our Chicago location. We have catering available last minute. We're offering a game day platter right now to really simplify things for you. So you don't have to go through and be like, oh, well, so-and-so likes this, they don't like this.
Right.
You know what? Let us take the guesswork out of it for you. You're going to get brisket, you're going to get pork, you're going to get ribs, you're going to get smoked wings, you're going to get mac and cheese, you're going to get nachos. All of it kind of pre-packed, ready to go, for the nice, easy price of $135.
That is awesome. You get all this stuff. Pub City, just a Chicago staple. Love what you guys do over there.
Absolutely.
Tim, you're the man. I
And don't
cannot wait
forget,
to.
Thanksgiving, this is right around the corner. We'll be doing our signature turkey packages and Thanksgiving packages as well.
I've got another question before we go. Okay, because our Insta poll, we're asking people what their favorite city/state is for barbecue. And you mentioned your Chicago-style barbecue, Tim. What does that involve? Is it more vinegary? Is it sweet? What is Chicago-style barbecue to you?
To me, it's a little bit more sweetness. Okay, and then you get that nice char on the outside. Because everyone wants to talk about like, oh, Chicago-style baby back ribs. It's like you think about it like back in the day, you get like the old school places, Bones, Elwood's, RJ Grunts. We do that nice smoke on there, and then you get that glaze, and then you get that char. So you get that like kind of like blackened look to the ribs on the outside.
That's Chicago style. We were wondering because
Yeah.
I put my vote toward Kansas City. I don't know. Does that make me not loyal? But there's just a lot
Kansas City's good.
It's good.
We do our Windy City Smokeout. We bring all the pitmasters from around the country in.
Right.
We're going to be doing one in Texas in May, as well as our signature one here in Chicago in July. So if you get the opportunity, come out and join us and check out all the barbecue offerings we're going to have available for everybody
Tim,
from around the country.
You've whet our appetite. And have you carved a pumpkin yet this year, Tim, at your house?
That's this weekend. My son's
Okay.
having a sleepover. We're going to carve up some pumpkins, have a good time.
Always our tailgate sponsor, Weber, is celebrating Orange Friday with us, and they have brought in a special guest. I'm talking celebrity appearance here. Straight from Wooddale, we have Duce Raymond of Sweet Baby Ray's. And Duce, your uncle and your dad started this business. It is wildly, wildly popular nationwide.
Yes.
You're going to tell us how it became so great, and you're going to give us some tips on barbecuing. But first, let's talk about the history of Sweet Baby Ray's. How did it all get started?
Well, I get goosebumps every time I start talking about it because they started back in the early 80s. There was the Mike Ryko Rib Fest.
Okay.
They got second place out of 700 contestants. It was like the biggest rib competition in history. And my uncle quit his job and started marketing and selling the sauce. My dad was the chef that created the recipe, and they just started knocking on doors, and one thing led to the next, and the rest is history, as we say.
And you have a catering business, which
Right.
is kind of like the best kept secret in Chicago.
That's what I was going to say. We don't want anybody to know about it. We have a restaurant and a catering business in Wooddale, and we make the best smoked meats, authentically made sides, and desserts. Anything that you want with barbecue, we have it there.
Do you have to pick it up at that location, or do you guys deliver?
We deliver all over Chicagoland, and we do not only just barbecue, but we do weddings, corporate events, all that type of stuff. So
Sweet Baby Ray's. I think that would bring out everybody
That's
to your
right.
event. Okay, so let's get started here. We've got the ribs on the grill. What do we need to do to prep them?
So the most important thing when you have the raw slab of ribs is to peel that membrane off the back. That makes sure all the seasoning and smoke can penetrate the ribs. Then you have to season them. We have a Duce's Wild, named after yours truly, barbecue rub that we like to use. And then you smoke them low and slow. So you have the coals offset, 26 briquettes on each side of the Weber grill, the ribs down the middle, and about 2.5 to 3 hours till they're nice and tender.
Okay, and then when do you know that they're ready? Because you want that fall off the bone situation. You don't want it where people are like prying it with a fork to
That's
get it
right.
off.
So once the meat starts to pull away from the bone a little bit and the bone marrow is bubbly in the middle, that's when you know it's ready.
And when do you put the sauce on it, or do you sprinkle it with more rub when it comes off? What do you do?
So the sauce only comes in the last 10 minutes of the cooking because there's sugar in the sauce. You don't want that to burn, but you want it to get it nice and bubbly. So right at the end, 10 minutes over the coals, so you get some of that char flavor. That's my favorite. This is what barbecue is to me. Weber Grill, Sweet Baby Ray's, and baby back ribs. It does not get any better than that.
It doesn't. It doesn't, and it smells so good. Tell us what other sauces you offer, because I'm familiar with this one. This is the one that I have in my fridge.
This is what everybody knows. Sweet Baby Ray's original. My dad created that recipe, and then about 10 years ago, we started making our own regional sauces. So this is actually our most popular regional one, Alabama White Gold. It's actually a white barbecue sauce, mayonnaise, vinegar base. This goes phenomenal on chicken and turkey.
Ooh.
It's really, really good.
You've got the rub that you discussed.
Yep.
What else did you bring in?
Well, we have our baby back ribs here that we talked about. We have a smoked turkey. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and we are taking orders. SweetBabyRaysCatering.com. There's an order form that's gonna pop up right away. My favorite, burnt ends, creamy coleslaw, mac and cheese, banana pudding, and honey-kissed cornbread.
The entire menu you brought it
Let's
in.
do it.
Duce, thank you so much, my friend. You are welcome back anytime.
I have the assignment of the morning, everybody. Look at this spread, which is coming into shape right now. This absolutely smells and looks delicious. We are joined by Christina and Greg Garkbo. They are with Chicago Culinary Kitchen to talk about the perfect way to reverse sear a porterhouse steak. We're also about to celebrate Veterans Day. Greg, you are a veteran, former Marine. We appreciate your service, but ladies first, even on the cusp of Veterans Day, we're going to talk to Christina about how Chicago Culinary Kitchen came to be.
Well, we actually started in our backyard using a Texas rancher that was from Weber Grill. And we would do indirect smoking, having friends and family over for parties. They got bigger and bigger. We decided that we really loved entertaining and cooking. So we decided to go ahead and open an event space. Chicago Culinary Kitchen used to be on Northwest Highway in Palatine. We started there as an event space. I got my Cicerone, which is a sommelier, but for beer.
Yes.
And we started doing beer and barbecue classes. Popular demand, we opened as a restaurant on weekends only. Sold out by 2 o'clock Saturday and Sunday, and then for 5 years we did that. Biggest complaint, not enough seats, not enough food, not enough time. So we moved to Hicks on Lake Cook Road in Palatine, and we are now open 5 days a week for lunch and dinner.
So you're just trying to meet demand.
That's right, see what we need to do, listen to the people, and then, answer what they want.
You're absolutely doing something correct. All right, so these babies just came off the grill. Yep. Okay, so take us through. Greg, what exactly is a reverse sear?
So reverse sear is when we're going to take this meat and we're going to put it on the grill and we're going to cook it low and slow to begin with, right? We want to start breaking down that fat, that everything, the connective tissues that are inside this. And then, because it's a big steak, because if we put this on there, it's going to take forever to cook if we just cook it directly on there. And this will actually give us a nice pink all the way through. It would be medium rare all the way through this way. And then after that, we take it and cook it over high heat on the grill then.
Okay, so right now, how long is this going to sit?
They're ready to go. These cooked for about 90 minutes or so.
Okay, 90.
Yeah, it depends, It could take longer, shorter.
And in terms of temperature, okay, run us through what we need to know if we want to try this at home.
So we were at about 250 degrees, and it took, give or take, around 90 minutes to get us to temperature. So we came in about 115. We don't want to cook it to temp because we're going to have some carryover. So what the carryover means that the steak, because it's a big steak, the internal temperature is going to keep carrying. So we want to cook it a little bit less than the actual temperature that what it is. Then we're going to sear it, and that'll help us to raise our temperature as well then.
Okay, so where does one pick up a good porterhouse?
This came from Purely Meats. This is our sponsor for this, so we really like working with them. These are some amazing prime steaks that are right here.
Christina mentioned that you guys got your start on a Weber. What is special about this particular grill right here?
What's nice about the searwood is that it gives you the smoke, and it also gives us the searing capability as well. So in the beginning, we smoked on this, and then afterwards now we turned it up to 600, and we got our sear on it then.
Over the weeks, we've had some complicated marinades and rubs and that kind of thing. I understand this one is pretty simple, right, Christina?
Just salt and smoke.
Salt and smoke, that's it.
Well, and the sear, because when you sear a steak, you're going to create some flavors just by searing with the Maillard reaction. So you're going to get some of that caramely notes from that high heat being applied to the meat.
All right, before we ask a very important question of all our viewers and of you two, I want you to, once again, Christina, run through what you want our viewers to know about how to check you guys out and sample some of what you guys are obviously in high demand for.
Awesome. So we're located in Palatine, Lake Cook Road and North Hicks, right when you get off the highway. It dumps you right in our doorstep. Our website is chicagoculinaryKitchen.com. We're on Facebook and also Instagram. We are doing sales for Thanksgiving right now. We also have beer, bourbon, and barbecue classes. Our next one is actually the day after Veterans Day, and then we have another one coming up December 10th. You can go to our website for more information on that.
The Chicago Bulls get a lot of credit for their 6 championships that they won in the 1990s. Well, this gentleman who's joining us on the plaza this morning is a 6-time world barbecue champ. He's joining our tailgate partner, Weber Grills, Mr. Tuffy Stone, the professor.
Yes, sir.
First of all, how'd you get that name?
You know, Anthony, I did a television show for 6 years called Barbecue Pitmasters, and the creator of that show was a guy named John Marcus, and he gave it to me. He said I could talk for hours on smoke and wood and fire.
Well, they're giving us 4 minutes.
4
today,
minutes.
So
we got to go fast.
We got a lot to get through. First of all right, so Tuffy, the professor, is showing us how to create the perfect turkey for Thanksgiving on the barbecue. So show us where we are in the process here.
Yes,
Tuffy.
sir. So, you know, a lot of times your oven space gets crowded and you don't have room for everything. So I like to take it outside. So we've done 2 preparations today. We've got what's called spatchcock, which is where we remove the backbone. We can lay it out flat. Right. It's going to cook faster. It's going to cook more evenly. And then I'm a big fan of anything rotisserie. So with this one, we just, we brined it, we rubbed it, we're spinning it. I spritz it occasionally with a little bit of pineapple juice, which just helps with the skin, makes for a nice flavor. Key thing, we do not want to overcook these turkeys for Thanksgiving. We're going to spend all this time babysitting them, so we want to cook it, generally speaking, about 20 minutes per pound, and it's going to temp about 165 degrees in the thigh.
Okay, so with the rotisserie method, you need more time than the spatchcock method,
No.
or about equal?
No, and actually the time I gave you would be if we were cooking at about 325 degrees Fahrenheit. No, the spinning one's going to take longer than the spatchcock because it's whole.
Okay, so and the rule of thumb is 20 minutes per pound.
Approximately.
Okay, approximately. Okay, we saw you kind of like an alchemist mixing up some a dry rub. What goes into that, and what goes into the brine that you do?
Well, first of all, since we only have 4 minutes, you can get a lot of these recipes if you just go to Weber.com. But you know, I'm a big fan of brining. If you've never brined before, it's a really great way to bring flavor into the turkey. Mine had water, salt, sugar, some vegetables, some fresh herbs, and then you're going to soak it, you know, overnight. Seasoning, if we're going to spend all this time working on this big meal, I want my seasoning to be fresh. Mine did salt, pepper, granulated garlic, things like that. So brine it, dry it, season it, grill it, spin it, smoke it.
And then eat it.
And eat it.
Okay, hey, Professor.
Yes, sir.
What do you see as the kind of number one or common mistake you see people making when it comes to turkey on the grill?
Well, you know, first of all, we don't want to overcook it. Okay. There's nothing worse than a dried out turkey. So cook it, get a good thermometer, cook it to the right temperature. I like to treat smoke like salt and pepper. I want that smoke to be a nice backdrop flavor to the turkey itself. I want the turkey to be the star. So with this searwood here, it's cherry pellets. You can see it's a very clean smoke, so we're going to get a wisp of smoke, but the smoke is going to be the standout flavor.
Professor, what else do you like to serve along with your bird?
So a lot of these recipes are out of my cookbook. We got smoked mashed potatoes here. I've never met a mashed potato I didn't like. I've got a green bean salad with some spiced nuts and some sun-dried cranberries. We've got we did a nice touch or nice change on this stuffing with fennel and sausage and just very savory. And of course, you got to have cranberries and you got to have gravy. A lot of these things, I think, making it easier for Thanksgiving. Let's cook in advance. Let's get organized. You know, write your menu out, get your recipes ready. You know, delegate to some other people to bring some dishes.
I like this left-brained approach, and one of the main advantages of going on the grill is you clear up space in the oven for the rest of the stuff, right?
Exactly.
Professor, where can people find your recipes?
You just go to Weber.com and you're going to see plenty of recipes, or you can go to my website. But just make it fun, make it delicious.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been an honor to meet you, Professor Tuffy Stone.
I am here with Chef Darryl this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, how did a 50-something-year-old man from Algonquin become a master chef and a TikTok star?
Well, it all happened during the pandemic, and my youngest daughter at the time asked me to do a TikTok with her. I, of course, refused. And then she hit me with I thought it would be something you and I can do together. And that did it. We did one video. It really didn't do anything, but the second one was my chili, and it did 4 million views. And
4 million views. So what was in that chili that you think kind of set things off for you?
I probably did a lot of things wrong, and people want, the haters come out, but I was using a pot that still had the sticker on it. People didn't like it. But the chili was fantastic, and I was just being a normal dad cooking chili.
Yeah, normal dad. And today we're making up some smash burgers. You said your daughter's actually the inspiration for the smash burger. How did that happen?
So smash burgers is one of my big recipes.
Okay.
And the difference is when you make 20 or 30 smash burgers, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
And smashing each one, it's a two-person job. And my daughter was having friends over for her birthday, and I thought, I'm going to make a patty. It's actually my wife's idea. I'm going to make a big patty that will fit the entire Hawaiian rolls. And that way I do 2 or 3 patties. I could do it myself, and we could feed all the kids.
So you can feed all the kids. We're going to go over to the grill right now and take a look. You just threw this on not long ago, right?
Not long ago.
So about how long does this need to stay on the grill? We can hear it kind of sizzling now.
Yeah, you want the juices to come through. You want the ends to start getting a little crisp. As you can see, I got butter in there.
Oh,
because butter is life. And butter
I thought that was cheese.
No, that's butter. And it's going to help crisp it up and get it and really enhance the flavor.
And what kind of flavors what kind of seasoning? Are we just doing regular salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper is good enough. Any kind of, whatever your favorite burger seasonings are. I happen to use the Weber burger seasoning with salt and pepper.
Because we are on the Weber grill today.
That's right, the Weber
slate. You just threw this on maybe about 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
How long does it need to sit on here before we do the flip?
It's probably ready.
It's ready for the flip?
You want to give it a shot?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm going to hand you this.
You got it.
All right. Let's switch sides. All right. All right. So we use a pizza peel. A pizza peel? Why this? What kind of? I've never seen a spatula this big. Yeah. Because you got to be able to get under it without breaking it. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Made it happen, right? That's right. So then how long do we need to leave this on each side? Well, so probably, a couple minutes each side is all you need. A couple minutes, you want that char on there. The char is what makes for the great smash burger. Oh, and the sound and the smell. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, once you get the perfect, and it looks perfect. Yep. Are we grilling up the sweet Hawaiian roll? No. I'll tell you why. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put some onions on there that I grilled up already. Okay. So let's put some onions, and then we're going to throw cheese. And I'm a big American cheese fan because I think it's the best melting
so no cheddar,
cheese
no
out
mozzarella.
there. Not with me. Okay. I don't go that route. I go American. It's the best melter, and we're going to get this guy loaded. And you don't even have to dome it. You could do the dome to melt it. Right. Don't even need to, because what we're going to do next is this is where we throw the top buns. Ah, okay. So they're all together, right? And we throw them on like this. So you use a different spatula for the buns than you do the burger, right? Yep. Well, we're going to use that again to put it on there. Now, you got to have a pickle. Yep. I'm a big pickle fan. What kind of pickles do you like? You like sweet, regular? Yeah, how some kosher pickles. It doesn't matter. But I don't do any condiments. I just don't do condiments because you don't need it. The flavor is so good right out of it, just right off of this. So just onions, cheese, and a pickle for the crunch. Because the crunch is what does it. If people want to find you to make more of these at home, where can they find you online or at TikTok or Instagram? Where can they find you? So Cooking with Darryl on TikTok, Cooking with _Darryl on Instagram. And we also have... I've got my book out, which you can get at cookingwithdarrylbook.com. That just launched a couple months ago. So that's out, and it'd be a great Christmas present. We're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for your time, and we're looking forward to eating here on Orange Friday.
It is Orange Friday, and you cannot have a tailgate without food. And so we invited Greystone Tavern up from Wrigleyville to come in here. This is Kyle Bagley, the owner. And Kyle, is it cold enough for you?
Yes, it's cold enough.
It is. We're going to get to some great outdoor activities that you guys have at the tavern in just a moment. But first up, tell us about what you brought in here.
We brought in some food. We have some brisket sloppy joes, our ultimate Bloody Mary, and 3 different flavors of wings for you to try.
And hopefully they're hot and spicy.
They need to be hot today. Absolutely.
Very hot. All right, let's come around this way. And on the grill, we have Chef Shy Hunter. He is on the Weber grill this morning. Of course, Weber, our Fox 32 tailgate sponsor. And what are you plating up for us, sir?
Our brisket sloppy joes and some of our wings that we're really known for.
Okay, so let's start with the brisket sloppy joe. How do you throw that together?
So pretty much chopped up smoked brisket, sauteed green and red peppers, our own homemade Greystone sauce with brown sugar, and ketchup and mustard.
Ooh, you had me at brown sugar. All right, now for the wings. We're talking about taking bar food on the road to the tailgate. How do you finish off those wings once you get to the tailgate party?
Pretty much all we do is just throw them on the grill, part cook them, soak them in our rub, have them grilled for about at least about 15 to 20 minutes.
And then you brought in different flavors of wings. What are we looking at here?
This is just our plain naked wings with our homemade Greystone rub. But we also have some of our famous sauces, just like our Greystone sauce, our spicy brown mustard, our Thai chili sauce, and our hot honey.
Nice. And what's your favorite?
Hot honey.
The hot honey. All right. I can't wait to try it. Thank you so much. Shy, if you want to, you know what, don't put that back there. Put it on the table up here because I'm going to eat some of that. I want the hot food, not the cold food that's been sitting out here in below zero temperatures for the last hour. Okay, back now to you, Kyle. You have this outdoor activation, we'll call it, but it is heated for the month of December. Tell me all about it.
So we have a heated and covered outdoor patio. So it's 4 seasons. You can use it all year round.
Great place. 8 crazy nights?
8 crazy nights. So we do the only Hanukkah pop-up in Chicago and maybe the nation. And so we do that all the way till January 8th this year. We create a special menu, special drink menu. You need to come and try it.
It sounds like I do. And you guys are known to broadcast the Bears games, but what other sports teams are you affiliated with as a tavern?
Well, it's tough to say in Chicago, but we are a Minnesota Vikings bar.
I don't know. I'm going to remove the mic from your mouth.
And then we have a Chelsea Football Premier League and University of Washington, Gonzaga, Kansas State. We have a little mix of everything.
I didn't hear University of Illinois, my alma mater, in that mix. Maybe we could add that one.
We'll work on that.
Wouldn't be that hard, the same colors as the Bears.
Absolutely. That'd be easy.
Okay, so where are you guys located once again if people want to come out and check you out?
We're in Wrigleyville at 3441 North Sheffield Avenue.
All right, Greystone Tavern, everybody, come and check them out here today on the Fox 32 Plaza working on the Weber Grill.
Time to come outside in the cold, but it's not quite so cold because the aroma of freshly cooked meat is wafting through the air, courtesy of our partners, our tailgate partners, Weber Grills. And Matt Kusek is here. He's our chef du jour. And I'm telling you, I'm glad we're kind of close to fire. It's easing the heat, but you brought it up early. It's like we're in a football game, right? Oh, the old NFL films. All right, Matt, what have you made for us today?
All right. It's prime rib season. So when you go in the stores, you might not have seen it the last few months, but now's the time. Because for the holidays, you're going to want something like that.
Wow, look at that. Here, let me get out of the way here so that Dee can get a picture of that. Now, you're doing this on a rotisserie. Is that the preferred way of doing it?
There's a couple ways that you can do it. There's no one way that's better than another. At Weber, we like this because it kind of bastes itself in its own juices. It also goes by a little bit quicker. So this one's going to take about 90 minutes there for about a 6-pounder.
And this particular grill, you're using the pellets to heat this all up. And have you seasoned that at all yet? What do you got on there?
Oh, sir, 1,000% we season this thing. And you know what I love about roasts? You can't over-season them because there's a lot of mass inside, so you got a lot of surface area to cover, so you could be as liberal as you want.
So what'd you put on this one?
Yeah, so what we have is our steakhouse seasoning that we dropped on there. We have our garlic parmesan on the Brussels sprouts and on those potatoes. And then we have another little secret.
Yes, that smoked cheese looks fantastic, doesn't it? Wow. What kind of cheese is in here?
So that is good old cream cheese, a block of cream cheese, and we season
Does that come from the city of brotherly love by any chance?
It might. I don't know how we are about the advertising rules around here, but yes, it might have come from that city with the Craig Bell in it.
Yeah.
Home of Hall & Oates. Best-selling pop duo of all time, mind you.
They are! I can't believe someone else knows that fact,
My man, let's go.
Let's go. Blow it up for me.
Hey, your kiss is on my list. Let's go take a try of this.
You man-eater.
Well done. All right, so I've smoked the cream cheese. I've seasoned this with our Fireball seasoning, our partners over at Sazerac. It's a pretty popular drink amongst.
And you've got the actual Fireball bottle over there, which I see is still sealed. What's wrong with this party?
I know. Well, we're waiting for you to come on out.
Well,
so now I'm going to make this a little interactive, okay? So one of the things, I did hear that you like a little bit of spice. I am drizzling some honey on that cream cheese now. So we've got Fireball has a lot of cinnamon. So what goes with cinnamon? Honey.
Honey.
That's right.
What'd you call me?
And now I heard that you like spicy.
I do like me a little spice there, Matt.
So this is the interactive portion. I will let you drizzle as many jalapenos as one would like.
Did you say jalapeno or peno?
I am not the one to be an authority on that.
All right. Well, let's just go with this many right here.
Okay.
All right.
There's your knife. Put it on the Ritz cracker, or just go after it with the Ritz cracker.
Which, by the way, Matt cooked himself. He made those Ritz crackers with the help from the Keebler Elves, I think. All right. And
now, while you're tasting it, because I don't want you to talk with your mouth full. I'm not that waiter that goes, hey, how's it tasting? But really cool thing is you take the block of cream cheese, you drizzle that on there in the smoker, 90 minutes or 3 hours, depends on how much smoke you like.
Fantastic. We got about 10 seconds left. Should people be intimidated to cook in the cold?
Absolutely not. Just make sure you got enough fuel, you got nice warm weather clothes, and if you need any tips or tricks, go to Weber.com or our YouTube channel.
Matt, that was fantastic. I'm not sure what I like better, the cooking or the music facts.
Out on the plaza, and did somebody say the ultimate nacho bar? Yes. Terri Evans is here. Terri is with Windy City Ribs and Whiskey. We kind of like the sound of that, but you serve a lot more than ribs, it looks like.
Absolutely. So we serve ribs, of course, it's in our name, but what we're going to be talking about today is the ultimate nacho bar.
And you already have a couple of delicious things set aside. Tell me, first of all, let's talk about like rubs or sauces. What are you using?
Yeah, so we have our own special sauce, our own special barbecue sauce, Windy City special sauce, that we'll be also having and assembling today. But in addition to that, for every one of our meats, we have our own rub. So all of our meats have a different rub that is a part of our processing. And for example, with our brisket, it's taking anywhere from 8 hours to cook. So all of that process goes into the prep.
So, okay, we better get going. What do you need me to do?
Well, why don't you tell me what you want on your nacho? Because that's the great thing about a nacho bar, right? You can assemble it as your guests want. So when you're doing your tailgate, the great thing about this is you can pre-prep so that you can sit back and enjoy the game as well. Excellent. And you don't have to do a whole lot of work. So right here today, we've got everything from cheese to olives to onions to different quesos to one of my favorites, the guac. You gotta have that fresh guac.
And I'm gonna say I'm going brisket all day.
All right, so we're gonna assemble some nachos, but we're gonna add the brisket for you. Okay. For those that don't eat red meat, they may want chicken. Or the great thing is, if you have some vegetarians that are coming to your tailgate, you don't have to add any meat at all.
All right, great.
All right, so let's just get this going.
Yeah, let's do it. So tell me a little bit more about what your favorite toppings are.
Sure. So, for me, I think it's similar to most people, the cheese, depending on making sure that you've got the right cheese for the nacho, double cheese it, and then also the other toppings. I think you can also make it as fresh and healthy as you want. So if you got black beans, you've got onions, which I just love the smell, and then, of course, going back to that guac and pico.
Anything I can do for you here? Can I throw on some beans?
Sure, if you want.
I'll do that.
You can get involved
as well.
You
want to get that meat going. Wow. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming out here. Tell us a little bit about those ribs, too, while we're sitting here, because, boy, do those look good.
Sure. So our ribs are all obviously slow cooked and made in-house. What we do is we smoke them for ultimately on our grills for several hours, which we sell out of them a lot. So there's a lot of prep that goes into ensuring that we're doing that properly based on the flow of our traffic in our restaurants.
Right. And not to slow you down, but tell us a little bit about where you're located, how people can find you.
So we're located in Navy Pier, right between door 4 and 5, but we're also located in the South Loop, and soon to come, we're opening in Maywood, Illinois.
Okay,
yes.
Excellent. Expanding. Good to hear.
Shout out to Mayor Booker and all he's doing for economic development in that community.
Okay, great. Well, we're glad to hear you're expanding. Okay, so now you're putting a little more shredded cheese, huh?
Yeah, we're going to do some additional, got to double up on the cheese. I think everybody loves cheese. And if they don't add cheese. That's the simple thing about a nacho bar.
Right. Well, these are hard to travel, though, aren't they?
Well, you know what's interesting? We do a lot of catering as well, which is great. So Windy City Ribs and Whiskey does a strong number of catering. That's honestly how we got the opportunity to meet Weber. They invited us out for a women's event, and we had the opportunity to really join and have an authentic relationship. So we do a ton of catering, corporate as well as small groups. But the nachos is one of those things you can set up, whether you have a large chafing dishes or small. You can set it up in any environment, and it's good to go. And also,
well, that's a good point. You put it together at location.
Exactly,
okay.
exactly.
Okay, we're gonna cut into that brisket.
Sure, let's cut into the brisket.
Show, because I've been watching this thing cook all day. Can you tell I'm excited?
Yes, indeed. So you want to make sure with anything you're doing from a catering standpoint, it allows your guests to really truly get an opportunity to enjoy the food without you having to do a lot of the work, which is one of the things that we love about not just Windy City Ribs and Whiskey, but also dockside delivery. Because did you know that we deliver to the boats?
Oh, that's awesome. Yes. I did not know that.
So we are located at 31st Street, right off the harbor. We deliver to all 10 harbors. Dockside delivery started in the midst of the pandemic, and so we started that because people couldn't come into the restaurant and eat, so we took the experience out. So that's the great thing. So we've got dockside delivery for those. It's hard to think about boating right now in this temperature, but
no, I can go there.
Exactly.
I'd rather be there.
Exactly. So we have a container at 31st Street Harbor, and we deliver out to all of the vessels there. We've got some really strong clients that repeat customers. We do charcuterie. charcuterie boards. We do lovely liquor coolers.
Well, look at that. They were Delta pandemic and they ran with it. You've got dockside delivery now. Thank you so much for coming. We are just going to chop these off and dig in, and we'll be right back with more Good Day coming up. Thank you so much, Terri, for coming in.
Every week, our tailgating partners at Weber Grill have outdone themselves, and this week is no exception. With the Bears taking on the Packers, how appropriate is it that we're going to find a way to make cheese one of the stars of what you're going to be able to grill here? Burgers. You got portobello burgers coming up. We've got an incredible dessert-style grilled cheese, and here to talk us through it all is Jason Pruitt. Jason, he's from Georgia. Who's the only person not wearing gloves out here? It's Jason. You're tougher than the pain, aren't you?
I'm thinking warm thoughts. That's how I'm getting through with it, yeah.
All right, so let's open up the grill here, and we're using a pellet grill today. And what are you cooking? And give us some tips here.
So we're doing some, we're doing a little healthy versus the old classic. So we got the all-American cheeseburger that we're going here with some American cheese.
Have you seen the movie, The Menu?
Yes.
Where American cheese is the only cheese.
It's the only cheese. There you go. And we're doing this at a high heat sear because we got our griddle in here too. So we're doing some onions, some peppers on our insert on our pellet. And then we are doing a little healthy take on that as well with some Swiss cheese and portobello. So for those that are vegetarians and want to start off the year with a vegetarian twist on your burger bash, you can do it with a Swiss and portobello.
How do you know when the mushroom is done? You told me, but I think this is a really good tip.
So look at it as like a flower blooming. What I mean by that is when you put it on, it's kind of tight, and then as it starts to heat up and cook, it starts releasing and starts kind of opening up like a flower's opening up the petals. At that point, we know that it's time that we can put our cheese on and kind of finish off the cook. We can also toast our buns at that time and kind of get ready to start plating our food at that time.
And you're a fan of when you're cooking the burgers, put the dimple in the middle there so that the burger doesn't what?
If you don't put the dimple in there, you get a dome. Nobody wants a dome. So we want to make sure we put that dimple so that our burger cooks even.
All right, let's hop over here to the other grill while those are cooking because this looks fantastic. What are you making here? And I notice you put everything over to the side for good reason.
So the great thing about this, if you got people over for playoff time, tailgate time, you can do this either in the afternoon, you can do it at lunchtime, you can also do it as a nice little brunch. And this is a dessert grilled cheese. And that dessert grilled cheese that we're doing for you today it's Nutella, mascarpone, some fresh raspberries, and a little bit of honey drizzle in there. And we're just cooking this up right here on the flat top.
And then you've moved it off to the side here because it's on kind of an indirect heat, correct?
So the beauty of our griddle here is we get wonderful even heat across the board here, and I can turn this burner off. This right here is my holding burner. So this right here is my holding area. This right here is the red zone, if you will. This is the hot zone here. Yeah. So I'm cooking everything here, and then I'm putting it over here, staging it until I serve it.
And I'm glad that you understand the difference between toasting bread and just warming it. That's the color that toast should be.
Yes, you want it toast, you should see corner to corner, edge to edge. You should see some crisp. If you're just warming it, you're not going to see that. So.
Won't be as pretty. All right, let's go over here because at the table, I mean, you've got some fantastic things set up here. What have you adorned the burgers with here, Jason?
So with the burgers here, on the American cheeseburger, the All-American here, we got the American cheese. We have grilled up onions. We also have some special sauce, if you will.
It's like a remoulade. It's this one over here, Stuart.
Exactly.
I'm going to show right here.
Pickle.
Right in there, yeah.
And then you can top it with some fresh, too. You can go with fresh tomato, a little bit of lettuce as well. And then
what about on the portobellos here?
So on our veggie twist here, we got a little bit of balsamic. We got a little bit of, in this marinade, very herbal marinade that we put on the mushroom here. And then on top of that, we have a roasted red pepper that we roasted off on our pellet smoker there. Our pellet grill. And then last but not least, we finished it off with some grilled onions. Fresh spinach that you can put on there too to add a little bit of freshness in there. And then when you top that, I like to actually top it with a little balsamic reduction. It really tops it.
Nice. All right, now one of the other things that you can do for a tailgate party or just any old time is you take these snack items, like the Cheez-It pretzel, those fantastic garlic crackers, and you smoke them, right? How do you do it?
So, you know what? This is what I like to say. Take all those little snack mixes you got in your pantry, clean out your pantry, Put it all in a bowl. We're going to put a little bit of seasoning oil on there, and then we're going to top it with, we like to use our American barbecue seasoning here from Weber. Yeah. This right here is so good. You top that, mix it all in together, and then we put it on our smoker, and we use our lovely smoke boost setting that we have on our pellet grill, and it is killer, man. It's really, really good.
I sampled it. Fantastic. Jason Pruitt, we appreciate you standing out here in the cold. This stuff looks great. Do you need any?
Weather,
Do you,
buddy.
it's not sickle weather.